So we want to evaluate the real part of the sum from n equals 1 to 2022. And that's the current year. So I'm just using an exam trick here. I've always put in the current year in a question somewhere. And cis pi by 6 to the power n. So let's look at what that actually is. So that is going to be the real part of. So with n equal to 1, we get cis pi by 6. And then we'd add that to with n equals 2, cis pi by 6 squared. And then let's miss a few terms. And you'll see why I do this in a moment. I'm going to go for cis pi by 6 to the 12 as the next one I write down. And then let's miss a few terms and go for cis pi by 6 to the 2022. And we'll finish that off there. Now, using Demois's theorem, that is going to be cis pi by 6 plus cis 2 pi by 6, which of course is pi by 3, plus cis 3 pi by 6, cis 4 pi by 6, and so on, up to cis 12 pi by 6, which is of course cis 2 pi, and that's the reason I wrote that one down, and so on up to cis 2022 pi by 6. So that's equal to the, well, let's think about this in a slightly different way for a second. So what I'm going to do is let's think about an argon diagram. So cis pi by 6, so all of these would be on a unit circle. And you'd have cis pi by 6, cis 2 pi by 6, 3 pi by 6, 4 pi by 6, 5 pi by 6, 6 pi by 6, 7 pi by 6, 8 pi by 6, 9 pi by 6, 10, 11, 12. And because of the symmetry here, if we think of them as vectors, that's going to be equal to 0. So these ones up to 12 are 0. And then by the same token, the ones from 13 pi by 6 through to 24 pi by 6, they're going to be 0 as well. So what's going to happen is we're only going to be left with the ones after that situation. So what we're going to do is 2022 divided by 12. How many times does 12 go into 2022? So 2022 divided by 12 gives me 168.5. 168 multiplied by 12 is 2016. So everything up to 2016 pi by 6 is going to be 0. So what we're left with is cis 2017 pi by 6 plus cis 2018 pi by 6 plus cis 2019 pi by 6 plus cis 2020 pi by 6 plus cis 2021 pi by 6 plus cis 2022 pi by 6. Now, we know that 2016 is going to put us back here. And so 2017 is just going to be this one again. So that's actually the same as having cis pi by 6, 1 pi by 6, 2017 pi by 6, that's the same angle as pi by 6. Well, obviously it's not the same angle because we go lots of times round, but it's in the same position. And therefore the cosine and the sine of 2017 pi by 6 are equal to the sine and cosine of pi by 6. So, following that on, we're going to get cis 2 pi by 6, which is pi by 3, plus cis 3 pi by 6, which is pi by 2. And then we're going to have cis 2 pi by 3. And then we'll have cis 5 pi by 6. And finally, we'll end up with cis pi. Okay, well, let's look at that on an argon diagram. So we have pi by 6, pi by 3, pi by 2, which is purely imaginary, so it has a 0 real part anyway. Then we have this one, then we have this one, and finally we have this one. Now the real part of this one will cancel with the real part of that one. The real part of this one will cancel with the real part of that one. This one, as I mentioned, is purely imaginary, and so we're only actually left with this one, which is -1. So our answer there is -1.